Hey everyone, this is Justin of Business 17 and I spent a lot of money today. There's a flea market store right by my house. It's not the same one from my previous videos. It's a different store. It's owned by people in the same family, but it's a lot smaller and a lot closer to my house. And over the past couple months I've been going in there and trading in all my doubles of games and a lot of my more modern games that I picked up that I don't really want for all this guy's retro stuff. And he had a pretty good retro collection, but I've kind of cleaned him out now of anything that I would want. But I went in there the other day and he said he'd just taken in a big Super Nintendo lot, and he obviously knew I was into like the retro games and everything, so he pulled it out for me and let me take a look at it. And right away when I looked in the box, it was kind of a buzzkill because there was a couple good games and he had them all in there in a stack of their own. So like he clearly already looked up all the prices on the games and whatnot, and so that's kind of a buzzkill. But what are you gonna do? He asked if I was gonna be interested in any of the games, and there was a bunch of them, but there was only like 4 or 5 that I didn't already have. So I picked those out and asked how much he was going to be wanting for them, because obviously he couldn't sell them to me right then. Like stores like that have to wait a certain amount of time after they buy something before they can sell it. In this case it was like 2 weeks. But anyway, he looked over the stack and said he'd take $40 for them, and I was like, I mean there's a couple good games in there, but I wasn't going to pay $40 for them. So then kind of impulsively I asked, well, how much do you want for everything? And after looking it over, I kind of reasoned that if I could get it all for under $100, that I could keep those games that I wanted and sell everything else and at least break even, probably actually make a couple dollars. So he thought about it for a second, and I was just worried he was just going to throw out some ridiculous number, because there was a couple good games in here. But he said he'd take $95 for them, and I don't know what I said after that, but I managed to get him down to $90, and I couldn't buy them right then, unfortunately, but I had to wait the 2 weeks, and I just got back from his store, went and picked them up. So let me show you guys what I got for $90. Alright, first of all we got the system here, and for the record, everything in this box is just insanely dirty. Like, there's like a beach in the bottom of this box. Like, I'm not even kidding. I don't even know why I put left the games in there, but so it's all really dirty. I'm gonna have to do some major scrubbing on a lot of this stuff, but luckily, it doesn't look like any of it's really damaged, it's just dirty. And then the first party controller, this one's got something loose in it, so I'm going to have to open that one up and take whatever that is out of there. And just a mess of wires here, but here's another first party controller. And both adapters, the AC and the AV, so that's cool. Like I said, I'll probably have to do some scrubbing on that system especially, but alright, and I've kind of got all these games sorted out into 3 separate piles. First, these are the ones that I'm planning on keeping. So we got ActRaiser, which I was really excited to see in here. I've never played this game. From what I understand, it's like a side-scroller with like some RPG elements and whatnot, so I'm kind of excited to try that one out. Here's Double Dragon, The Shadow Falls. I used to be a huge fan of Double Dragon for the NES, Double Dragon 2 anyway. I don't have the first one or the third one, so I gotta get those, but I'm excited to try this one out too. Now, I don't exactly know what this game is. It's Magic Sword. It's a Capcom game. It looks kind of like it'd be like an RPG type thing. I don't know though, so if, I'm gonna test it out and definitely clean it up because it is trashed. But if anyone knows if this game's any good, let me know. We got Wolfenstein 3D. I've heard that this is like a first-person shooter, and I don't have like Doom or anything, so I can't compare it to Doom, but from my experience and what I've seen, first-person shooters don't really work that well on the Super Nintendo, just because of the graphics and everything, so I'm going to have to see how that one is. And then finally, I just got WCW, Super Brawl Wrestling. Not much to say about this one, I just didn't have it, so there's those. Okay, now, this next lot of games is the ones that I'm either going to sell with this system, but there's a couple of these I might sell individually. There's some like decent ones. And then there's a couple at the end that I'll show you that I know I'm going to sell individually. Those are the money makers. But anyway, you got Super Mario Kart, which is cool. What can I say about this game other than it's a classic. Another classic, Super Mario World. I think the label's a little faded, but I'm not too concerned about it. This is Williams Arcade's Greatest Hits. I think I actually have this game sealed, believe it or not. So I've never played it, but just an assemblage of arcade games, I'm assuming. Donkey Kong Country, the first one, which is cool. This one's actually not that dirty and in good condition. So, and Donkey Kong Country 2. I had this game already, obviously, but this one's a little beat up, but I think this one might actually be in better condition than mine after I clean it up. So I might switch that one out for mine. I'm not sure yet. And then Illusion of Gaia. I found this game at a thrift store, actually. I was really excited because I heard that it was like an RPG and like a great game, but me and Ryan played through this and I was not too impressed with this game. I don't think he was either. It's not really an RPG. Like, it's got some RPG like qualities to it, I guess, but it's really not a standard RPG, and I don't know, I just didn't like that game that much. Speaking of games I didn't like that much, we got Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I played through like Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3, and I was like so excited. I was like, oh, there's another Final Fantasy game for Super Nintendo, and I picked this up, and this is a disappointment on all levels. Star Fox. I think I have this game complete. Actually, I know I have it complete, so this one's really dirty though, so I'm gonna have to do some major scrubbing on that one. I have this one complete too, Killer Instinct. Mine has like the Killer Cut CD with it too, so that's cool. But and then Aladdin. Not much to say about that one. The Lion King. Mickey's Ultimate Challenge, which ironically I just picked up from that same flea market store like last month, like the same game, so that's kind of ironic. Monopoly. It's got a big sticker on the top and some writing on the back, but I don't know if I have this one for Super Nintendo yet or not. But it looks like a lot of these came from like the same, like there was like a video game store, or like maybe like a video rental store that all had these games, because a lot of them have the same writing on the back. But so I don't know who traded them in, but we got Tiny Toons Adventures Wacky Sports Challenge. I don't know if you consider that a sports game or not. But Mario Paint, which I already have 9 other copies of, I believe, and no mouse or mice to go with them. Mortal Kombat. It's a classic. The Lion King. Another one. I thought there was 2 in there. I don't know why there's 2. But. And Animaniacs. So those are the ones that I'm going to sell with that system. Like I said, a couple of those, like Super Mario Kart, maybe Donkey Kong Country 2. I might split up. But anyway, now we'll get to the 3 good games that I got. I guess this one isn't that great. It's The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And I might actually keep this one because the one I have is like the million seller version or whatever, so it's got the different artwork on the front. This one's got a little nick in the label, but I'm not going to get picky about that. So I might hang on to this one. I'm not sure yet. And then next we got Secret of Mana. Me and Ryan are actually playing through this one right now. I don't know. In my opinion, this game's kind of overrated. The multiplayer feature is cool, but other than that, I don't know. I'm not too impressed with this game. So. And then finally, the big money maker of the group, Final Fantasy 3. Like I said, I played through this one. I think I still like Final Fantasy 2 more, but nevertheless, this is a great game. A really long game. Definitely worth playing through. So I was really excited to see that in there. Those are the 3 that he had set aside in the box. The ones I knew he knew what they were worth, and that's why I'm surprised he sold all of that to me for $95. I mean, or $90 actually. I'm assuming he paid like $25 or $30 for it, because I mean he gets stuff dirt cheap. I wish people came to me with stuff like that, but you know, what are you gonna do? I'll still get these games for free probably in the long run. Maybe even make a couple bucks on that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking around, and take it easy.